Good afternoon. I am Brian Downs, and this is still a republic if you can keep it. It's a few minutes after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm coming to you from Orlando, Florida on August 24th, 2025. Let's talk about fighting crime with troops. President Donald J. Trump, the open sewer of corruption that he is, has taken to sending National Guard troops and even active duty military like the U.S. Marines into American cities. He did it in Los Angeles recently in response to protests. He's done it in Washington, D.C. Now in Los Angeles, neither the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, nor the mayor of Los Angeles felt that these troops were necessary and did not request them. Trump sent them anyway. And as far as I can ascertain, they accomplished nothing except a constitutional crisis. In Washington, D.C., of course, the situation is a bit different. Washington is the District of Columbia, a federal city. Arguably, the president has more authority there, but that's not an excuse to abuse it like an idiot. Now, it is expected that Donald Trump will be deploying the National Guard to Chicago to fight crime. This is, of course, simply President Trump wanting to be the big boy and flex his muscles and show that he's the boss. No other American president has ever done this. Violent crime in Chicago is actually down year on year, although Chicago notoriously has a significant problem with crime. The numbers are down this year compared to last. No other president, even in much worse years, has ever sent in the National Guard. So this is Trump being the autocrat. But the point I want to make is that this is stupid. The idea of sending troops in order to fight crime is ludicrous. While a visible patrol presence is an important part of any policing strategy, it is only one part of it. You don't solve crime simply by shoveling in more patrol units. If that were the case, someone 1,000 years ago would have figured out, okay, well, we need X number of patrol units per square mile, and that'll solve it. You especially don't solve crime by shoveling in National Guard, or in the case of Washington, D.C., FBI agents, who apparently drew a short straw. Gee, I thought I was a federal investigator. I'm out here handing out parking tickets, I guess. Doing street patrol. You don't solve the problem by shoveling in personnel who don't know anything about street patrol. National Guard, FBI haven't been trained in this. Police are trained in street patrol, and believe me, street patrol is its own skill. To know the city, know the community, actually be familiar with the sorts of laws that get broken in the street. Anything from noise ordinances to what constitutes shoplifting. That's the kind of thing we teach police and that the police specialize in. To send in people who have no idea about street patrol isn't a solution. Also, to deploy the National Guard with these troops often being brought up from other states entirely and sent to a relatively distant city is absurdly expensive. Deploying armed troops is always expensive. Some Roman or Greek whose name I forget said that the sinews of war are infinite money. So to spend the money that it is necessary to spend to send the National Guard to Chicago or to California or to any other place in America, to achieve very little result in battling crime because you're sending in the wrong personnel to solve the wrong problem, is idiotic. When you could spend the same money, I don't know, on police or the other kinds of resources that have been proven to be more effective in lowering and battling crime in cities around the world, other than just shovel in armed patrol units. So what we see again is that Donald Trump is a toddler who feels that he should be able to stuff his own mouth while having his ass kissed. He wants to prove that he's the big boy. He's got the troops, he'll send them in. Well, gee, no other American president has done this. in response to street crime? Oh, well, Donald Trump is smarter than everyone. If no one else has ever done it before, it's only because Donald Trump is the only person to ever think of it. And, of course, Donald Trump wishes to frighten, to intimidate. This is his favorite sport, his raison d'etre, to communicate to Americans that they should be afraid of him. The president wants you to be afraid of him. And he's got the troops to make that happen. Yes, he does. Of course, the criminal case against Donald Trump in California moves forward that he illegally deployed troops to Los Angeles. I expect that case will find that Donald Trump is, again, a criminal, another mark in his long history of criminality. I imagine that if he deploys troops to Chicago, similar cases will erupt. It is, of course, worth noting that Donald Trump seems to deploy troops mostly to deep blue urban centers where the governor and or the mayor are vocal opponents of Donald Trump. But, of course, that's another one of his favorite habits, to intimidate and to bully and to push around anyone who criticizes him. And why not do it with hundreds of armed men? He's only following in the footsteps of well-known historical figures, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, Caligula, the Roman emperor. Every day, we see another reason that President Trump should be impeached for any number of illegal abuses of power, illegal executive orders. He hurls himself against the safeguards, against the guardrails, against the constraints of the presidency. Unlike anyone who's ever held the position before. I look forward to the day when he is no longer in the Oval Office. Let us speed that day. Remember, contact your representatives. Donate to causes. Get out there. Make your voice heard. We are the Americans. We oppose the tyrants and the liars. And we will bring this one down.